Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to really hear me when I say this. You are not here by accident. Every breath you take, every morning you wake up, every beat of your heart is proof that your life has meaning. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel like that. Sometimes life is hard. Sometimes you wake up and feel like the world is pushing down on you, like you're stuck in a place where nothing seems to make sense. But let me tell you something, those moments, those struggles, those late nights and early mornings, they don't define you. What defines you is the understanding that you were created for a purpose, that your life has a reason, a plan, and a calling that nobody else can fulfill but you. You see, too many people go through life wandering, thinking they are here just to survive, just to get by, just to exist. They wake up every day without a mission, without a vision, without any sense of direction, and then they wonder why they feel empty inside. I'm here to tell you that emptiness is a warning sign. It's your soul trying to remind you that there's more for you. You weren't put on this earth to blend in. You weren't put here to settle for mediocrity. You weren't put here to follow someone else's path. You were put here to walk your own path, to shine your own light, to accomplish your own dreams. And that is something that starts the moment you decide to tell yourself every single day, I have a purpose. I am here for a reason. Think about it. Every great person you admire, every person who's achieved something remarkable, they didn't get there by accident. They didn't wake up one day and find themselves successful without purpose. They got there because they understood who they were, why they were here, and they refused to let anyone else tell them otherwise. And you have that same power inside of you. You have gifts, talents, and abilities that no one else has. No one can duplicate your mind, your creativity, your experiences, or your perspective. And when you start recognizing that, when you start waking up every morning and affirming your worth and your mission, you begin to move in alignment with your destiny. Now, I know it's easy to forget your purpose. Life throws challenges at you that make you question yourself. You lose jobs, you face rejection, you lose loved ones. And sometimes the world seems like it's against you. But listen closely, those challenges are not your defeat. They are your preparation. They are shaping you, strengthening you, and reminding you that you're capable of handling more than you ever imagined. The fact that you are still here, still breathing, still trying, still pushing, that's proof that you are not here by accident. You are surviving, yes, but more importantly, you are preparing. And every day you remind yourself that you are here for a reason. You're telling yourself that you are capable of more, that you are worthy of greatness, and that you can fulfill the purpose you were born for. I want you to start speaking to yourself in the morning with power. Stand in front of the mirror, look yourself in the eye, and say it out loud, I am here for a reason. I have a purpose. My life matters. Don't just say it once. Say it every day. Say it until it sinks into your soul. Say it until your doubts and fears have no room to breathe. Because here's the truth. When you truly believe that your life has meaning, your actions will change. Your mindset will shift. Your opportunities will expand. Doors will open that you didn't even see before. You will start attracting the right people, the right circumstances, and the right opportunities because you are moving in alignment with your purpose. And let me remind you, purpose is not something you have to wait for someone else to validate. You don't need a diploma, a promotion, or a title to be significant. Your significance comes from within. It comes from understanding that you were made for something special, something bigger than yourself. And that realization will give you courage. It will give you resilience. It will give you power. And it will give you the strength to face any obstacle. So today, every time you feel doubt creeping in, every time life tries to tell you that you're not enough, to tell yourself the truth, you are not here by accident. You have a reason to be alive. You have a purpose to fulfill. You have a destiny that no one else can claim but you. Speak it, believe it, and watch how your life transforms when you finally start recognizing the power of your existence. If you want, I can also expand all 6 keynotes into full 650-word speeches so you'll have a full motivational speech set ready in Steve Harvey style. Do you want me to do that? You said, NXPK on 650 wires, we can tag Colin Keel, IO, ChatGPT said, absolutely. Let's take keynote 20 and tell yourself that progress, no matter how small, is still progress, and expand it into 650 words, Steve Harvey motivational style, without headings or conclusion, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something that most people don't understand about life progress. It's not always loud, flashy, or immediate. Progress doesn't always come with fireworks or applause. In fact, most of the time, progress is quiet. It's slow. It's almost invisible if you're not paying attention. And that's exactly why most people give up. They're waiting for a sign that says, you've made it, but life doesn't always give you that kind of confirmation. Life rewards consistency, effort, and persistence, even when you can't see the results right away. And that's why it's so important to remind yourself every single day. Progress, no matter how small, is still progress. I want you to think about this. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how tiny, you are moving closer to the life you dream about. You may feel like you're crawling, like you're moving at a snail's pace, like everyone else is way ahead of you. But here's the truth. Someone else's speed does not determine your success. Your journey is yours, and every small effort counts. Every choice you make to improve yourself, every decision to do better than you did yesterday, every step you take, even when it feels insignificant, is progress. And if you learn to recognize that, if you learn to celebrate that, you will never underestimate the power of small wins. See, life is built on tiny steps stacked over time. You don't just wake up one day with everything you ever wanted. You don't just arrive at success fully formed. You get there by showing up, by doing the work consistently, by making progress, even when it feels slow, even when it feels frustrating. Imagine someone planting a tree. They don't wake up the next day and see a forest. They water it, care for it, and nurture it, and it grows little by little. That's exactly how your life works. Every small action, every small effort is like watering your tree. And one day, when you look back, you realize that those tiny steps added up to something extraordinary. But I know sometimes it's hard to see it. Sometimes it's easy to feel discouraged when you're working hard and nothing seems to be changing. That's when you have to remind yourself, I am moving forward. Even if it's one step at a time, I am making progress. Speak it to yourself every morning. Speak it when you're tired. Speak it when you feel like giving up. Because when you acknowledge your progress, no matter how small, you fuel your motivation, you boost your confidence, and you build momentum. Momentum is what carries you through the hard days, when you don't feel like pushing anymore. And here's something else. I need you to understand progress isn't always linear. You might take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, and that's okay. Life is messy, life is unpredictable, life is full of setbacks. But progress isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, it's about moving forward, it's about not quitting. Even when you stumble, even when you fall, even when life knocks you down, as long as you get back up and keep moving, you are making progress. You are growing. You are learning. You are becoming the person you were meant to be. So I want you to start celebrating the small victories in your life. When you get out of bed despite feeling exhausted, that's progress. When you take 1 step toward a goal you've been putting off, that's progress. When you learn something new, change a habit, or make a better choice, that's progress. It may seem small, it may seem insignificant, but I promise you, Those little steps accumulate, they add up, they multiply, and one day you'll look back and realize that all those small steps brought you exactly where you needed to be. Ladies and gentlemen, never discount the power of tiny actions repeated every day. Remind yourself constantly progress, no matter how small, is still progress. Celebrate it, embrace it, and let it fuel you. Because it is in the consistent, small steps that greatness is built, and it is those steps that will carry you to the life you've always dreamed of. If you want, I can expand keynotes 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the same style as well, so you'll have a complete motivational speech ready for delivery in Steve Harvey's voice. It's a DK 3K Benoto and 650 word COA Shadai and Kekalayam. ChatGPT said absolutely. Let's expand keynote 3. Affirm that you have survived every tough day so far, so you are stronger than you think, into 650 words, Steve Harvey motivational style, without headings or conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to stop for a moment and really think about where you are right now. Think about the storms you've been through, the nights you stayed up worried, the days when nothing seemed to go right. Think about the times you wanted to quit, the times you felt like giving up, the times life tried to knock you down and you thought you couldn't get back up. And then I want you to realize this: you survived. You're still here. You're still breathing. You're still standing. That means you are stronger than you think. Most people don't take a minute to acknowledge that. They look at their problems, they look at their pain, and they forget to recognize the strength it took just to get through the day. But surviving is not small. Surviving is not easy. And surviving proves something very important about you. You have power, resilience, and endurance that nobody can take away. See, life doesn't come with warnings. Life doesn't come with a manual. Life doesn't tell you when the hard days are coming. You wake up, and sometimes it's like the world has decided to throw every challenge in your path at once. You have bills to pay, deadlines to meet, relationships to manage, emotions to control, and on top of that, your own self-doubt trying to hold you back. And yet, here you are. Every day that you open your eyes, every day that you make it through, you are proving to yourself and to the world that you can handle more than you give yourself credit for. Too many people underestimate the power of survival. They think surviving is just existing, like it's nothing to brag about. But let me tell you something. Surviving takes courage. It takes determination. It takes a mindset that refuses to let circumstances define who you are. Every challenge, every setback, every heartbreak you've endured has been shaping you, strengthening you, molding you to the person capable of handling bigger things. Life is like a weightlifter. It only makes you stronger when it adds resistance. Every tough day, every hard moment, every struggle you survive has added strength to your character, resilience to your spirit, and wisdom to your mind. And here's the thing. Most people quit right before their breakthrough. They give up because they can't see the strength they've already built. They forget that just getting through yesterday was a victory. Just surviving the hard moments has been preparing them for the blessings they can't even see yet. You don't need to wait for life to get easier before you start believing in yourself. Look back at your own history and see how far you've come. You've survived heartbreak, disappointment, rejection, failure, and still you are here. That is proof that you have what it takes. That is proof that you are stronger than you think. Every time life tests you, remember that your track record is undefeated. Every challenge you've faced, every tear you've shed, every obstacle you've overcome has made you more capable, more resilient, and more prepared for what's next. You have survived storms that others couldn't imagine surviving. You have carried burdens that would have crushed somebody else. And that means something. That means you are a warrior. That means you are built to endure. That means nothing life throws at you today can compare to what you've already conquered. So I want you to start telling yourself every morning, I have survived every tough day so far, and that means I am stronger than I think. I have what it takes to handle today, and I am going to rise above every challenge. Say it with conviction. Say it until it becomes part of who you are. Because when you affirm your strength, when you recognize the battles you've already won, you create a foundation that no obstacle can shake. Ladies and gentlemen, never forget that surviving is not just about getting by. It's about proving to yourself that you have power, courage, and resilience that the world cannot take from you. You've been through the fire, and you are still standing. That is your strength. That is your testimony. That is your proof that you can handle anything. Believe it, embrace it, and let it carry you through every day. If you want, I can now expand keynote 4 in the same style for you, continue in the full speech series in Steve Harvey style. Do you want to say in 4K? Why not? 650 mod does why TSO why should it again .com kill why on ChatGPT said absolutely. Let's expand keynote 4. Believe that discipline would take you further than motivation ever will. Into 650 words, Steve Harvey motivational style, without headings or conclusion, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something that most people don't understand about success. You see, motivation is great. Motivation can give you a spark. Motivation can make you feel fired up. Motivation can make you want to get started. But motivation is like a sugar rush. It's temporary. It comes and goes. It's powerful in the moment, but it cannot carry you through the long haul. That's why so many people start something with fire in their hearts and quit a few weeks later. They were relying on a feeling instead of a habit, on inspiration instead of a commitment. And that's where discipline comes in. Discipline, not motivation, is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Discipline is what keeps you showing up, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what pushes you to do the work when nobody is watching, when the world isn't applauding, and when you feel like giving up. See, discipline is not sexy. It doesn't give you a high or an adrenaline rush. It's not glamorous and it doesn't make headlines. But discipline is steady. Discipline is consistent. Discipline is what builds champions. Let me tell you something about motivation. It's fickle. One day you're inspired, the next day you're tired. One day you're excited, the next day you're distracted. Motivation is unreliable. But discipline doesn't care about how you feel. Discipline shows up every day, rain or shine, tired or energetic, happy or sad. Discipline is what builds habits. Habits build routines. Routines build character. And character builds the life you've been dreaming of. Now think about this. Every person you admire, every successful entrepreneur, athlete, or leader you look up to, they didn't get there by waiting to feel motivated every day. They got there because they were disciplined. They showed up when nobody was cheering for them. They put in the work when it seemed like nobody was paying attention. And did the things they didn't want to do because they understood that discipline beats motivation every single time. You can feel motivated for a week, a month, or even a year, but without discipline, you will eventually run out of gas. Without discipline, your goals will remain dreams, nothing more. And here's the secret most people don't realize. Discipline is what creates freedom. I know it sounds funny, because discipline feels like restriction, like you're controlling yourself. But the truth is, when you are disciplined in your actions, you create results. And results give you freedom. Freedom to live life on your terms. Freedom to say yes to opportunities. Freedom to provide for your family. Freedom to pursue your purpose. Motivation alone can't give you that. Motivation alone can't sustain you through setbacks, challenges, or distractions. Discipline is what makes the difference between someone who talks about success and someone who actually lives it. I want you to start telling yourself every day, I will be disciplined today no matter how I feel. Make a commitment to consistency. Make a commitment to showing up for yourself, for your goals, and for your dreams. When you get up in the morning, even if you don't feel like it, do the work anyway. When the world is trying to distract you, focus anyway. When your energy is low, push through anyway. That is the power of discipline. That is what separates ordinary people from extraordinary people. Ladies and gentlemen, understand this. Motivation may get you started, but discipline will carry you to the finish line. Motivation may make you feel good for a moment, but discipline builds your future. Motivation may inspire you to take action today, but discipline ensures you keep taking action tomorrow, the next day, and every day after that. So stop waiting to feel like doing it. Stop relying on motivation alone. Develop discipline. Build habits. Show up consistently. Do the work no matter how you feel, and watch how your life transforms when you realize that discipline will take you further than motivation ever will. If you want, I can continue with Keynote 5 expanded to 6 and 50 words next, so you'll have a full series of 6 Steve Harvey style motivational keynotes ready. Do you want me to continue? You said SP5 go watch you and Kai and Ko on ChatGPT said absolutely. Let's expand Keynote 5. Promise yourself that you won't compare your journey with anyone else's. Into 650 words, Steve Harvey motivational style without headings or conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that a lot of people struggle with, but nobody talks about enough. Comparison is a silent killer. It sneaks into your mind when you're scrolling on social media, when you're listening to someone else's story, when you're watching someone on life that looks different from yours. And if you're not careful, comparison can destroy your confidence, steal your joy, and make you feel like you're never enough. But let me remind you of one simple truth: your journey is yours. No one else's timeline, no one else's path, and no one else's circumstances are meant to be your measuring stick. And the moment you start comparing yourself to others, you rob yourself of your power, your focus, and your peace. See, here's the thing about life: we all have our own unique story. We all have our own gifts, our own challenges, our own pace. You may look at someone and see their success, their wealth, their happiness, and feel like you're behind. But what you don't see is the journey they had to take to get there, the struggles, the failures, the sacrifices. You only see the highlight reel, not the hard work behind it. And comparing yourself to that highlight reel is unfair, unrealistic, and harmful. Your life is not meant to be a copy of anyone else's life. Your life is meant to be authentically yours. Let me break this down for you. Comparison doesn't just steal joy, it creates unnecessary stress. It creates self-doubt. It convinces you that you're not doing enough, even when you are giving your all. It tells you that your progress is too slow, that your achievements are too small, and that your dreams are too big. But here's what you need to hear: the only person you should ever compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. That is your benchmark. That is your standard. If you are moving forward, even in small steps, you are winning. If you are improving, learning, and growing, you are succeeding. Don't let someone else's journey define your worth. Don't let someone else's timing determine your pace. I want you to promise yourself something today. You will not compare your journey to anyone else's. You will not let social media gossip or someone else's success steal your peace. You will focus on your own growth, your own purpose, your own goals. You will understand that life is not a race to be won against others. It's a journey to be lived authentically, passionately, and intentionally. And the moment you accept that, you will start living a life free from envy, free from resentment, free from the toxic energy of comparison. Think about it. When you stop comparing yourself, you start appreciating your own journey. You start noticing the little victories you've been ignoring. You start celebrating the milestones, no matter how small. You start recognizing your own progress, your own strengths, and your own resilience. Comparison clouds your vision, but self-awareness illuminates it. When you focus on your own journey, you free yourself to grow at your own pace, follow your own dreams, and create your own destiny. And let me tell you something else. Comparison can also make you impatient. It can make you rush decisions, chase shortcuts, and settle for less than you deserve. But your life is not a race. Your dreams will come in their own timing, in their own way, and in the order they're supposed to arrive. And the moment you stop comparing yourself, you allow patience to take root, you allow faith to guide you, you allow the universe or God to unfold your story perfectly, without forcing it, without stress, without fear. Ladies and gentlemen, every time you catch yourself thinking about someone else's life and wondering why you're not there yet, remind yourself your journey is yours. Your time is yours, your lessons, and your victories are unique to you. And the moment you honor that, the moment you stop comparing yourself, you unlock a life filled with joy, confidence, peace, and unstoppable growth. So today, make that promise to yourself, no more comparison. Walk your own path, run your own race, and embrace your own journey with courage and determination. If you want, I can now expand Keynote 6 in the same style for you. Keynotes for a full speech. Do you want me to do that? You said expand the 6K or hour and 650 word and call ChatGPT said absolutely. Let's expand Keynote 6A. Declare that today is another chance to build the life you want into 650 words, Steve Harvey motivational style, without headings or conclusion. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear me when I say this. Every single day you wake up is a gift, and every single day is a new chance. A new chance to do something different, a new chance to take a step closer to your dreams, a new chance to live intentionally. Too many people wake up and treat today like just another day, like it doesn't matter, like it's no different from yesterday. But that's a lie. Today is a blank page, and what you do with it determines what your story looks like tomorrow. Every sunrise, every morning, God is giving you a reset button, an opportunity to rewrite your life, to take control, to make the choices that will shape your future. I want you to understand that your past does not define your future. Just because yesterday didn't go the way you wanted, just because you made mistakes, just because you failed, just because things didn't work out doesn't mean today is any less important. Today is not a continuation of yesterday's failures. It is a fresh start. It's a new opportunity to try again, to do better, to make smarter decisions, to take the steps that yesterday you didn't take. And that's why it's so powerful to tell yourself every morning, today is another chance to build the life I want. Speak it. Own it. Believe it. Let it be the first thought in your mind when you open your eyes. See, so many people live their lives waiting for the right moment, waiting for the perfect conditions, waiting for the world to give them permission to start. But here's the truth, the right moment is right now. The perfect conditions don't exist. If you wait for them, you'll be waiting your whole life. Every day is a chance, whether you feel ready or not, whether life feels fair or not, whether circumstances are easy or hard. Every day gives you an opportunity